This is how you administer a baseline. So your customer ID, you'll click on the Aimsweb site. Your customer ID is always going to be 20198 for the training platform. You type in the teacher password that you were given, and then all of our passwords are Washam, capital W, 2020. When you get to this screen in the real platform, this area here will have students' names, our students, but we're going to click view and refresh. If you don't see students, click view and refresh, and you will see all of your sample students. And you can sort students by alphabetically by clicking the word student at the top, and they will populate alphabetically A to Z or Z to A. So if you want to see when a student has most recently been progress monitored or benchmarked in something else, you can click the I next to the student's name. That's going to give you information about the student. So here we see over on the survey level assessments, and that's really all we're going to be doing is survey level assessments for progress monitoring and benchmarking. You are going to see that this student was given the oral reading fluency grade 1 on the 12th of November. Their score was a 93 words per minute, which puts them in the 94th percentile. Then we also have oral reading fluency for second grade on the 19th of November, and they got a score of 96, which puts them in the 94th percentile. If we want to give a new survey level assessment to the student, which would be a baseline that's different than oral reading fluency, or perhaps we're progress monitoring them again, we click on, over on the left side here, we click on survey level assessment, which is always going to be at the bottom. And again, when this is gray, we click view refresh. We make sure this is the student that we want to progress monitor or baseline. So this is sample student 806. That will work. And we're going to go over here to the button new, because we want to have a new survey level assessment or a new baseline. And we pick the measure that the teacher has chosen. So we're going to pick, instead of oral reading fluency, for this student, maybe we do letter name fluency. So we click LNF, and you all know the codes. This is a kindergarten level assessment, and this is going to be Form 4. So if you were doing paper pencil, you would ensure that that student had Form 4 in front of them, and you would have this same thing pulled up on your screen, and you would click Assess. To be sure that you and the student are looking at the same form, you could click Preview and make sure the student had lowercase u, lowercase o, uppercase L. You would make sure it was the same form. If you are aware of that, you can exit the preview. And then you just read the directions. Here are some letters, begin here, and you point to the first letter. And when you're ready, after you've read the directions, you click Begin. And there's a timer you can see up here that's counting down. This is a timed assessment. And you would just click on the letters that the student said incorrectly. And I wish I didn't have to let this run out, but I am going to let it run out and just show you a couple more things. So if a student finishes the whole page in less than a minute, you can click this button here, which is pause or end, and then the student's responses will be scored immediately. If a student misses a whole line, oh, I thought you could click, sometimes you can click a whole line, but apparently not on this particular assessment. But as we wait, you'll see when the timer gets down to the end, a pop-up box will happen, and you will mark the last letter attempted. So you would just click, if they were here, you would just click there, and that L stands for the last letter attempted. And then you simply go up here to score. You don't have to remember any of the scoring parameters on this one. You would just click score. You can print results for the teacher if they've asked you for those, or you can just click OK, and all of this data will be transferred into the system. So the next time we log in to see this student and click on that I for information, we'll be able to see that we gave them letter naming fluency and that they scored with 93% accuracy. All right, so if I go to view and refresh, I should be able to see, and maybe it was there previously, letter naming fluency on 1121, and the child scored 54, and this was the 90th percentile. All right, so that obviously isn't an area that needs to be worked on for this student. So that is how you would give a survey level assessment or baseline a student.